In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus' virgin birth is said to fulfill Isaiah 7:14. But what this means might surprise you. Hi, I'm Michael Barber. I'm professor of biblical studies and theology at the Augustine Institute, and let's talk about the fulfillment of prophecy in Matthew. I've already made one video on the use of Isaiah 7 in Matthew 1. Many people think that Matthew's reading is based on a mistranslation or a misinterpretation of Isaiah's prophecy. In short, in Isaiah 7, we read about a threat posed to Jerusalem in the 8th century. Isn't Matthew misinterpreting this passage by applying it to Jesus' coming, something that took place hundreds of years later? Well, here's the problem. You might be misunderstanding how Matthew sees the scriptures of Israel being fulfilled. So imagine that this means that something is written down in the distant past and it simply foretells a future event. But that's not always how Matthew understands things when he talks about fulfillment. Look at Matthew 2. There we read that Joseph is told to take Jesus into Egypt to protect him from Herod, who's trying to kill him. We read, "So Joseph rose and took the child and his mother by night and went away to Egypt. And he stayed there until the death of Herod, so that what was spoken by the prophet, or what was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, might be fulfilled. Out of Egypt I have called my son," Hosea 11:1. Now Matthew here is quoting from Hosea, but if you go back and read the prophecy, the book isn't talking there about a future event. It's talking about Israel's past. It's talking about the Exodus. Until Matthew, no one probably saw this as a prophecy about the Messiah. So why is Matthew quoting it here? Because he thinks that the history of Israel is being summed up in the life of Jesus. The later church father Irenaeus would call this recapitulation. The story of salvation is recapped in Jesus' life. Just as Israel was delivered and brought up from Egypt in the Exodus, the same thing happens to Jesus here. When Matthew says Jesus is fulfilling the prophecy, he's not simply saying that Hosea wrote these lines to predict what would happen in the life of the Messiah. It's not like Matthew is offering something like a proof from prophecy here. He's not saying, see, you all knew that the Messiah was predicted by Hosea to come up out of Egypt. No, instead, Matthew is saying that with faith in Jesus, we look at the scriptures of Israel in a new way, seeing a meaning there that we could not see without Jesus. More to come.